We got Key with Pleasure Shop. I don't think it's a remix of an old hymn, but you never know. People get pretty creative these days. Let's do it. Key, Pleasure Shop.
Welcome to the Pleasure Shop.
Come on in, 더 깊게 홀려 with me, with me, with me, with me. I got all 감춰둔 맘에 your needs, your needs, your needs, your needs. Pick and choose. I'm happy when you're happy, that's the truth.
Let me give you just a touch more volume on this one.
내 밀어준 손끝이 조금 차가워도 기분 탓이 move. It's the pleasure shop. 내게 말해봐 what you want, what you like. 너도 몰래 이끌리는 사이 그저 그는 grab it down. 지루했던 현실엔 어떤 것들의 world. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. 인도적인 나만의 beat 멈춘 real time 속에 니는 가리는 trick. 전부 빠짐없게 입력해 your text. I can give you 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go. I'm around the corner, we can start freaking. Look at you, 괜찮아, 더 겁내봐.
Seriously, how many different styles can Key do? I feel like every friggin' song is completely different. And he friggin' nails it every time.
어지래도 거부 못하니까. Fantasy, romance, and action. 잡히는 mix and shake. This gon' be the great opening. 내 온 부품이 너를 반겨다 맡겨봐. 바뀐 현실의 장르는 sci-fi. 새감는 spotlight. Bet you gonna love it 지금부터가 highlight. It's the pleasure show. 내게 말해봐 what you want, what you like. 너도 몰래 이끌리는 사이 그저 그는 grab it down. 지루했던 현실엔 어떤 것들의 world. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome.
See, I have to say, from a director standpoint, there's things I could comment on in terms of like the transitions and some of the scene changes and stuff, and that's all great. Like, sure. However, in my brain, there's more of a conversation around the concept of this video than just the transitions. But when we get to the end, we'll discuss it just a little bit.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Pick and choose. 완벽한 계산 속에 찾은 틈. Oh yeah. So what's the move? 빠져들 수밖에 없는 이유. Whatever I do. It's the pleasure shop. 내게 말해봐 what you want, what you like. 너도 몰래 이끌리는 사이 더 깊이 갇혀도 좋아. 흔들며 사라질 웃고 것들의 world. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, let's discuss a little bit, shall we? First of all, I'm sorry about the subs. They were not English subs, so I couldn't give them to you. Okay. Now let's discuss. Pleasure Shop. Now I could say like Key's voice is great, his style, his breadth of talent, significant. All a given. Already established with Key. But this video specifically feels like a very strong commentary. What do you think What are your thoughts on the concept of this video? I'd like to hear what you have to say. I think the song is catchy. I like his voice. He has a couple really nice, I would say trills, a couple nice little high notes that kind of tickled me in all the right ways. Feels like I'm on drugs. Okay. I could see that. It was released on his birthday. Too focused on Key to pay attention to anything else. Fair enough. Okay, so here's what I think. I feel like there's a big chunk of this, if not the main concept of this video, talks about kind of the bridge and or the contrast between what we consider like real life, our offline life, and then our online life. Take that second part, the online life, and then extrapolate that to, let's just say, a couple years. Let's say the future, whatever you want to get it. Okay. If you've ever read the book, and you know me, I'm a big reader. If you've ever read the book Ready Player One, the book is much better than the movie. Okay, but it's very similar to this. It's like a fun adventure, like The Matrix, but not dystopian. Okay, Matrix is very dark and dystopian. If you saw the movie, night and day. Even if you don't like reading, like me, Ready Player One. The book, I couldn't put it down. And it was more than 10 pages. So, I highly recommend it. But the point is, I think one of the most interesting conversations that's kind of floating around right now, from time to time, from some credible sources and some less credible sources, and even just the conversation that we can have as people, talks about the future and what that might look like for us. Now, whether that's AI or whether that is some level of simulation or us getting more invested and involved with networking with each other, Neuralink. There's all kinds of stuff that we could talk about. And with this video, I think there's a lot of little Easter eggs and seeds that Key is kind of showing that, how do I put this? See if I can be a little more concise. Yeah, good luck, bro. There's a couple scenes with him and the joystick, okay? And he's kind of making things happen on the screen. And it seems like as the video progresses, he becomes a little bit less invested, but he's still kind of going through the motions. And it makes me wonder if part of his commentary in this video is kind of saying, if you were given a magic wand or a simulation or whatever, and you just dove into this pleasure shop, you can have anything you want at any time. At first, it's going to be a whole new world. All of your wildest dreams and fantasies come true. But what's going to happen on day 2 and day 3? How much time is going to have to pass? And you realize, I'm not really any happier than I was before, potentially. Or I'm less happy. I don't know. Right? I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, there is actual science. There are studies that have been done and data to support the fact that humans are happier when they have fewer choices. Think about that. We're happier when we have fewer choices. So if we're given everything we want on a golden platter, here you go. Here's all the money you could ever want. Whee! And it's fun. It's great. But at some point, you're going to realize, damn, okay, it didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. Well, what else can I do? I feel like some of what he's showing in here alludes to that. And I think the most powerful moment in this video is this right here at the very end.
You're welcome.
Right there. When we break out of that virtual, that simulation, that virtual world where everything is perfect and everybody's perfect and you can have anything you want. And then when you break out of that and you are back into reality, like that's real, that's now. And it might not be perfect, but it's unique. It's you, it's me, you know? Easy to say, hard to really apply. Man, interesting stuff. I think. Either way, even if you're not looking into it as deeply as I am, hell of a bop. I think that's kind of a win.